Lads, lassies, welcome back to the YouTube and welcome back to a freezing cold day in Dublin, Ireland. Basically when I woke up this morning it was like legit snowing. I've come up Killiney Hill in the hope we would find some snow, but there is none, so we're going to have to go up into the Dublin Mountains. But when I saw the snow I was thinking, genius idea Dave, why don't we do like a Christmas gift guide for wakeboarders? Like everything from really small budget to obviously like infinity budget, so that everyone can kind of know what wakeboarders want, what I'd like, probably what your wakeboarding boyfriend or your wakeboarding girlfriend or your mom or your dad or your son or your sister or whoever it is, what kind of wakeboarding gifts that they'd like and that are good for them. I've written a list. This is my Santa Claus list. We're kind of, it was really windy up there, but basically I'm going to do this whole thing as we go, and I've written like my Christmas list here. So effectively I'm going to cover all budgets from like nothing, like really small, like under $50 all the way to like unlimited. So basically the easiest ones, if you want a gift, would be something like board shorts, t-shirts. Obviously I'm going to plug like Wake Fury t-shirts, but you know, like something cool, like a wakeboarding like kind of merchandise t-shirt. Or another thing that's really sick that Darren actually introduced me to is like wax for your board. If you ride the cable, it makes it so much slippier, and I think I bought a piece for like $11 of wax. It's called Wax That. I think that's not promoted, I literally just, that's the one I use. Boat cleaner if you're into boat wakeboarding. What else do I have here? Oh, and then of course like a boat set, or even like a cable pass for like a day or an hour or whatever's in your budget. That's definitely like a very simple one. But yeah, so that's just kind of some cheap, simple ideas. Hopefully they help. Anyway, currently I'm going to show you some scenes and then we'll go in to the $50 to $150 price range. Oh my god, it's so snowy.
Holy man.
Okay, wait, flip around, we'll show the snow and then we'll do the talking. Go for it. That's so sick. That's unreal. Okay, so for the category from 50 to 150, this is probably going to be the most common category. And so what I would say in that, the best things you can kind of go for, this is when you break into like life jackets, maybe wetsuits. Wetsuits are kind of maybe the next category if you want a good wetsuit. You can get ropes, handles. Another great one, as of course I'm going to say this, is a dock wake package. It's like online coaching. It's so sick, and it's, you know, just $65. What else is there? The other one that's super cool, which I actually saw, I kind of had a Google before this. The sickest idea ever would be balance boards. It's such a good way to practice in the winter, and literally it's just like a roller and like kind of like a skateboard or whatever. And they're pretty cheap. I looked, they're about $80, $90, depends what brand you go for. But yeah, balance board could be cool. So that is kind of the summary of the $50 to $150. When we pull in here to 6 snow place, I'll talk about like the $150 to $250, because that's when you get the meaty stuff, the real good stuff. Okay, so we're driving along and I thought, what better place to talk about Christmas gift ideas than at a Christmas tree farm? Damn it, that didn't roll off my tongue. Anyway, so the next category on the David O'Queeve Christmas list is the 150 to the 250. So in this range, there are 3 items and only 3 items. The first is, and right now if you're wakeboarding, you definitely need it, a wetsuit. You can get pretty good wetsuit from like 150 to 200, 250. You'll get like a good thick one. My advice would be get one with glued seams, because that's going to keep that's going to keep the real cold out of it, and it actually makes more of a difference than the thickness. But around a 4.3 or something is a good thickness. Then fat sacks. Okay, so fat sacks are like big bags. They come empty, they're cheap to deliver. You fill them up with weight, and then with weight being water, and then you literally, it makes the wake of your boat bigger. So that's definitely another one. I think you can get one for about 150, 200, depends on the brand. And then the last thing I had in mind, and this is the brainwave one, is a trampoline. Like I'm always talking on my YouTube channel, if you go on it you'll see some videos of how you can use a trampoline to progress your wakeboarding, particularly in winter time for the non-southern hemispheric countries. A trampoline is perfect. Something like a 13-14 foot one you can get online pretty cheap, like maybe 150, 200. My one was 250 brand new. So yeah, so that is that is a good, I just thought the Christmas tree farm was a perfect place. So we shall continue on our voyage to find snow, but first, look at that. I'm going to snowball something. The obvious thing here would be Darren.
Yeah, fucking you, that was good.
Show this real quick. We're getting the ultimate drone shots. Okay, so what's going to happen right now?
Well done. We are to focus, David.
It is so cold, I can't explain. So I'm going to literally buzz you into these with a sick transition in a second, and then we'll meet up and we'll talk about the next price range and gift ideas. So I'm currently going to just transition the hell out of this. Boom. I can't describe how cold it is. Warning level minus 1.5 degrees. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why this gets me so excited, but it just does. Okay, we're gonna go straight into this again. Sorry about the scenes being from the car, but it's just so cold out there. So, this is actually the meatiest, bestest. This is the range you want to be purchasing. If you can afford it, obviously not everyone can. But the 250 to 500 range, which is like if you're being like the most generous family member or friend in the whole world. The obvious two would be board and bindings. My recommendation, obviously I've actually done a whole video on like board suggestions, but I would say, like obviously I'm going to say O'Brien, but something like the Valhalla if you're riding the boat, it's really good value because it's not a pro model of anyone's. I mean, I like to say it's my pro model, but it's not actually. So you're not paying a premium to get a pro model or such, so you can get really good value on them. Then we go into actually kind of like things you never think of, which is like a lesson. Like you never think to get someone, I don't know, for some reason I would never think to get someone lessons, but lessons like a day with a pro coach or something can make your wakeboarding so much better. As well, if I'm buying this for a friend, I can probably get in on the lessons too. So it's a pretty good idea. Then the other things like a wake skate and a wake surf, also they fall into that bracket. They're away like on days off or also just to try new stuff. It's also an option. And then there's a GoPro, because everyone loves GoPros or any camera, but a GoPro is kind of the obvious choice for a lot of people. And again, that's not paid. I don't even own a GoPro and I actually want to get one, so if anyone's watching this who's thinking of buying me a Christmas gift, hook me up. Then there's two ones here that are not, they're not game changers, but they're good ideas. So if you're on the boat, these are both for boat people. A pylon, which I've actually done a video, like a promotion at the time, but they're actually sick and they're really, really good. I'm not being asked to say this, but they are really good and they're cheap, like around, I think like $200, and they effectively tow you from a bit higher, make it way easier for tricks, and they are really, really good. And then the second thing, and I don't even know who makes these, but they're, if you Google it, I'm sure it'll come up. It's like a wake plate, which my only experience was last year when I was in Australia. Someone had them. Obviously they're nowhere near as good as like tabs that like Centurion and stuff put on their boats, but if you can't afford like a brand new boat with like amazing tabs and everything, then this is the ticket. So it literally suction cups onto the side and it pulls one side of the boat down and creates a nice wave, and it actually does. I was impressed, I must say, like, because obviously Centurion and other boat brands put so much money into R&D to figure out how to make the perfect wave, and I can't stress this wake plate thing is not as good as them at all, but it's still a step in the right direction. If you want to feel out, if you like wake surfing and stuff, then a wake plate could be for you. Anyway, I hope that you found that a bit useful. There's one more price pack. I don't know when we're going to do it, but it's the 500 plus. The big boy money. I respect not a lot of people will probably spend that much. But anyway, Darren, you must be knackered from holding the camera. So we'll just spin to the next scene where I find more snow. Okay, so we found basically the snow's melting, which kind of devastates me. But anyway, this is the €500 or $1 kind of plus thing, which obviously gets into the super expensive stuff. Like you can buy like the sickest setup, like board bindings, rope, everything if you're going to spend that much. Or you could buy like a boat, like obviously like that would be insane, but obviously you're probably not going to buy someone a boat for Christmas unless you are balling. If you are, then hit me up. But okay, so here we go. So I have a few ideas I've written down, and this is like, if you've got like maybe like 1,000 or over 500, something like a wake trip away for like, whether it's to a cable park in like Turkey or Thailand, or depending on where you're based in the world, or also like even to Sidewake where I was recently. The other one, and this is actually something I mentioned on my YouTube a while ago, was I was like, oh, I want to go on like this ultimate road trip where you do like skydiving and all this stuff and wakeboard, like in like 6 different cable parks over 6 different days and stuff in America. So then since then I've been in touch with them and I'm actually going, so that's gonna be sick. So that's gonna be on the first week of April, so you could come to that. You could send your spouse or your friend or your son or whatever on that trip. The other one, what did I have? A drone. Drone's such a sick idea. I always use drones for my videos and stuff. You can actually get them probably for less than 500. The one I use is a Phantom 3 Pro, and now I'd say you get one for like $500 or $600, that's a lot of drone for a little amount of money. Do I have everything else? Oh, and then like a yearly cable pass or like a load of boat sets, something like that. I don't know. This kind of video was just, it dawned on me when I woke up. I was like, that's a really good idea. Like, people would love to know, and I'm sure right now, like beginning mid-December is when people are looking to buy people presents. So I thought, you know what, we'll make the video. I hope you enjoy it. It might have been a bit random, like in all the different locations, but I thought rather than sitting down and just talking to you, I'd do that. So for now, I'm literally gonna hop back in the car because we're in a private car park. I've been looking for somewhere to do this. I'm just gonna burn off. It's probably gonna be crap because the snow's like fully melted and it's all been salted. But we're going to do that. So I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Darren for filming. If you're liking the videos, subscribe, because the subscribe count when it goes up brings an old smile to my face. But yeah, so we're going to burn them and turn them. That was kind of disappointing when I watched that back. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. And I hope that the present guide helped you, and I hope it's good. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.